What's going on, guys? Daniel, aka Phoenix TTS, coming at you guys with another brand new video. Today is a little different video for you guys. I have to make a presentation for my work, and I put some decent effort into the presentation, and I think I cover some really good material for filmmaking content and cinematography. I'm going to be covering intermediate cinematography techniques, so this will help you if you're a filmmaker or a videographer or even like a photographer, or if you just watch my Filmmaker Reaction reviews and want to see kind of and understand some of the terminology and stuff I talk about in those videos from a filmmaking standpoint. So if you're into that sort of thing, continue watching the video, consider giving us a like and subscribe for new videos every single week. But without further ado, guys, let's get right into the training, and I'm just going to be talking about this stuff from my personal experience and from my viewpoints and what I think about it. So here we go. Alright, so Intermediate Cinematography Techniques by Daniel Sampedro. If I'm not looking at you guys, I'm going to be looking at the screen a lot, and I'm going to be talking about it and referencing it, so sorry about that, but I just wanted the webcam on just so you can have me as a reference, and I'll be using the mouse throughout the thing. And I got my water here, so sit back, kick back, get your notes out, because here we go. If my thing will work. There we go. Alright, so establishing wide shot. So introduces the setting, gives the audience a sense of perspective and tone, helps draw the audience into the scene. So this is at the beginning of everything, basically. This is how you just like start it off, and then we get to like tighter in, and then I'm gonna have these sides, and I'm gonna follow on with some examples. So here we go. Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. This is, we have Gondor approaching on the white city of Gondor. So it's just a super wide angle shot. We totally see what's going on. We see he's arriving here. That's pretty much all we need to know, and it lets us know where we're at. Same thing with Blade Runner, opening shot. It lets us see the whole city, and so we can see it's a very grim, it's very dystopian, and it's dark, and there's like fire coming out of the buildings. There's a lot of people living here, a lot of lights. Overpopulation is a thing. And then in Blade Runner 2049, this is when they're exiting the car, and we can see it's very snowy. And we can see where the hell they're going. These are the people we're talking about, and this is where they're going. That's as simple as that. That's what establishing shots are meant to do. Avatar. Just show us the landscape. What's the planet? What the hell do floating mountains look like? That's what floating mountains look like. Good to know. Life of Pi. And I threw this in here because it has a rule of thirds example. So we have the sun in this corner, and then we have the boat in this corner. And then pi in the middle is just some cool like symmetry and just make some balance with the shot. And then there's also stuff over here, and so yeah, and then we got kind of like the water line right here, which is cool, but it just lets us know we're out in the sea, and these are the people we're talking about, so I like the shot. Arrival. Another one. In this corner of the screen we got, or in the corner of the rule of thirds, we got the big ass spaceship, and then we got some cloud movement over here. I guess if we want to say the trees are over here, that's cool, but it just lets us know that we're getting in on the spaceship, and it's in the mountains. Whoops. The Revenant, really beautiful shot. Shot with natural lighting. That's another cool thing about The Revenant. We're out in the middle of the wilderness. Look how tiny he is compared to everything else. That's really important, and it just lets us know we're out in the middle of freaking nowhere. Dunkirk, super wide shot. It lets us know we're on the beach in the middle of the action, and that there's so many people stranded needing to get out. And I want to say that these are all actually people, because normally what they'll do is they'll just take like these people, and then they'll duplicate them smaller here, and then duplicate them smaller there, and then duplicate them smaller there, and it's a really terrible process, and it like looks terrible, but Nolan shoots for realsies, so we know that that's okay. How to Train Your Dragon. This is him and Astrid riding. I think it's him and Astrid riding. And so we got some rule of thirds up in here. We got the rule of thirds up in here with Toothless, and we got a shoreline at the bottom third, and it's letting us know that they're flying out to some place. So these shots are really easy, guys, and they just do so much for the audience. All right, we're gonna move over to the 180-degree rule. So always follow this rule. Try not to break it. And if you think you can break it, try it some more and then break it. And then keep repeating that so you don't ever really break it until you're like an Oscar winner or something, or you're just like really crazy, and or if you're just feeling like that's what my movie's gonna be about. But other than that, don't break it. Just don't. All right. So this is basically what it is that you have your two characters, and then imagine there's a line like going right through them. The camera will only be shooting on one side of them. or else it just looks like they shoot on the place. So basically, this is our line. This is where all the cameras are. If you put a camera over here, that's wrong. Don't do that. So here's another example of why it's good. So this is good, and that's cam A. Cam B is over here, and we get an over the shoulder here, and then get another over the shoulder. But if we switch to cam D, it looks like they swap places, and you don't want that, because then that confuses you. You're like, wait, weren't they there? And then that just takes you out of the movie. And the last thing you want as a filmmaker or any videographer or anything is to get your audience out of it. You want them to be immersed into whatever it is you're doing. That's what you want. 100%. That is like the most important thing. You break that, the whole thing falls apart. Alright, so this is like maintaining it. So we start off over here, and then we can go super high, but like Gandalf is always on the right, Balrog's always on the left. That's technically how it's supposed to work. And even in like fight scenes, and this was just happened, Avengers Endgame trailer. So we're shooting. This is the line through them, and we're only shooting on this part of them, right? We don't go towards on the cockpit side, or else we get confused. Tony's on the left, or Tony's on the right. Helmet's on the left. Boom. Even in fight scenes, Return of the Jedi, Luke's on the right, Vader's on the left, and this is like from Vader's over the shoulder, and then this one's from Vader's over the shoulder, and then this one's from Luke's over the shoulder. So you're not breaking that axis, whatever you do. You're always shooting on one side of the characters. 50-50 shot. These are really good confrontational shots to show us a bit of even power and just like, some conflict, or like two opposing forces coming at each other. So we got BVS, Batman and Superman, a little bit not super 50-50, but this is 100% 50-50. Toothless and the Deadly Nightmare, or whatever. No, it's not a Deadly Nightmare. I forgot what the little ones are called. But yeah, you can see it's completely the two characters right here, and then the camera is completely to the side of them. It's not leaning towards a certain character. It's right in the middle of them. Power in cinematography. So power in cinematography basically shows you who's in charge, gives the audience expectations of what the hell is going on and who's in what state, and increases dramatic tension, which is really, really important for building suspense and keeping your audience in there, wanting them to see more. One of my favorite examples is The Dark Knight Rises with Bane. Bane's huge. Tom Hardy is not that big. He's probably standing on a box, but the way that the height is, it looks like he is completely dominating over him, and that's amazing. And then my favorite scene, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, no. So if we watch the GIF again, it starts low, and then he becomes taller and taller and taller. That's him gaining power throughout the scene, like real time. And then he has so much power, and he says no, and that's the peak of that. Drive, shot really, really low. The lower you shoot, and when you shoot higher at them, they have more power. I've talked about this before. But yeah, look how tall it is. Look at how much power Driver has in this scene. It's insane. House of Cards. I mean, say what you want about Kevin Spacey, but if we just take it this shot, the way it is right now, he's standing and looming over this guy. Who's got the power in the shot? This guy right here, obviously. Jurassic Park. Now, I like this example a lot because, yes, the T-Rex is looming over him, but look how much screen Dr. Grant takes in this shot. That shows us a little bit. Like, while the T-Rex has more, like, physical power and, like, at the surface level, this shows how much screen Dr. Grant takes in the frame, shows us how big of a power, like, mentally he has, because he knows what the hell, like, the T-Rex is, and because he got the flare, and he knows that they're attracted to the flare, so he's still got a lot of power, even though he looks smaller than the T-Rex, because he's taking up more of the frame. Raiders of the Lost Ark. So right now, the idol is taller than Indy, so it looks like he's, like, unsure, he doesn't know what the hell is up, but then when the camera moves and he's on top of the idol, then it looks like he's in control instead of the idol being in control. So you can do a power swap in the same scene, in the same shot as we saw like with Rise of the Planet of the Apes. It's very doable. Yojimbo, same thing with the Jurassic Park thing. Look at all these people. You would think they have power, but look how big he is. He's got the power because he just takes up so much of the frame. And he's like, looks like he's gonna come and eat all these people, like because of how different in size they are. Even though they're bigger in number, he's bigger in the size of the frame. That's power in cinematography. Now we also have perspective in cinematography. So perspective in cinematography is basically who the scene's about, what the characters are thinking, and what's important. It puts like things into perspective, basically. So get it? Blade Runner 2049. So look how tiny K is compared to this thing, this entity. That just shows him like how small he is in this bigger world. That's what it is, and how alone he is. Saving Private Ryan. It puts us right in the action, shaky cam and everything, and it's hectic. It puts us in perspective of the characters, what kind of position and environment they're living through. That's how the cinematography achieves that. Elf. Look how big Will Ferrell is compared to everybody else. He's obviously out of place. He doesn't belong, and it just puts us in the mindset of the character by how you frame your shots. Godzilla. That's his foot. These are people. He's huge, okay? So like you can show like with relativity, when you show two things comparing the sizes, you can really like get some power out of here, especially when you're dealing with giant ass monsters, because Godzilla is freaking huge in this scene. And then Interstellar, this is Brand, just like how, especially like how like the depth of field and like how blurry the background is and how focused it is her. She's dead center in the frame, which usually isn't a good thing, but here it works, just to show how alone she is out in her world because there's nobody else but her. And that's what that's showing us. It's giving her perspective of the scene. Princess Mononoke. So here we got a little bit farther scene. We got the forest spirit in between two trees. It's not very clear. It's kind of misty. We don't really know what's going on, but we know that this is like a magical, mystical presence. So we're like, I don't know what to think of this person, of this being, but like it's kind of mystical, but I don't know. We're not right there. It's not super clear. We're farther back and it's blurry. So we're thinking the same thing as the characters by this shot composition, how everything looks. Prometheus. Look at David. It's very focused, very tight in there. He's looking intimately at this thing. Next shot, it spans and expands. Look how, and then that's his growing intellect, basically. This is how much his understanding has grown because of how wide the shot is. That just can let, like, the shot and the framing can get us inside the character's head and teach us more about what's going on. And then The Godfather. Look at that's his funeral. Everybody's sad. Everybody's like in their own thing. Kay, I'm pretty sure her name is sad, but Michael's got something else on his mind. He's different than everybody else. You can see it in his eyes in Al Pacino's performance that he's taking this differently than everybody else. Gets us in his head. Buzz Lightyear, Toy Story. Look how above everybody else he is. This is a really good rule of thirds thing too right here with all the alien heads. He is above everybody else. He is their superior. He believes himself to be their superior, letting us inside his head. And then the classic Star Wars shot, Luke Skywalker looking out the binary sunset. We see a lonely farm boy. Everybody knows this look. Everybody knows that they want to be out there doing something greater than what they already are. And this is exactly what's going through Luke's head. We see the horizon out there, and we can totally know what he's thinking with and can identify with the little farm boy he is and what he's going through. Then we got foreshadowing cinematography. So this is going to tell where the story's going, what will happen next, and highlight important things for later. So basically it's like, it's like a foreshadow. Instead of a flashback, we have foreshadows. And so these are things that are going to be important later. Framing is huge. So if there's any empty space in a frame, usually something's going to fill it pretty soon. So in Jaws, he's like chumming the water, and there's nothing right here. And then boom, boom, next scene, there's a giant ass shark. So there's something to take away from there. That's like, you can tell that like just because there's an empty space, they don't put that empty space for nothing. They put it because something's gonna fill it eventually. So if you know how cinematography is, you can kind of get spoiled a little bit easier because you can tell they're like, oh, something's gonna happen just by the way things are framed. Same thing with Jurassic Park. While we're not seeing anything in this frame, we can tell by her face that they're looking at something, and we're gonna see something that will create the same reaction us in the next shot. The Prestige. While you may think this is a title card, even just putting stuff in the background is a huge foreshadow. And I don't want to spoil it for you guys because this is an amazing movie and you should go see it. But everything in this frame means something. Not just the Prestige, even though that's what this shot is. But it's just looking deeper and giving us more meaning. And you can put more stuff in the frame than you think. Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. All three of these dudes are looking at something. Well, what do you think we're going to see in the next shot? What they're looking at. Simple as that, guys. If you just, you could either easily just show us what they're looking at right off the bat without showing them. But then that takes away the tension. It takes away the anticipation. If you show what they're looking at, if you show them looking at something first, then it makes us want to look at that too. So then we show the freaking castle, and then we get to see everything that they're making or that they're watching and looking forward to. Because if we don't have that, then we're just like, oh, there's a castle there. But if we have this shot first, they're like, oh, what are we looking at? Oh, they're looking at a castle. That's cool. Create that anticipation. And then my last slide is Kubo and the two strings. So we have all our people walking on this trail. The trail leads to, we can't see where the trail goes, but we see all this stuff. Birds are going somewhere. A bunch of hills and mountains and trees and fog. We have no idea what the hell is going on, but we know that they're about to embark on a journey. We can see that, and we can anticipate that something grand is about to happen for the rest of the movie. Foreshadowing a long journey ahead, basically. And that is the end of my slideshow, y'all. So, hope you guys enjoyed the little quick training for you guys, cinematography stuff. Hope you guys like this. If you want me to do more of this stuff, just let me know in the comment section below by dropping a like on this video. And we'll be back to our Filmmaker Reaction videos very soon, so make sure you subscribe for new videos every single week. But anyways, guys, this has been me, Daniel, aka Phoenix CTS. I want you to find yourself, be yourself, and love yourself. Hi guys, Daniel aka Phoenix here, checking in with you guys at the end of the video. If you did enjoy what you saw, please check out one of these other two videos, or just like the video and subscribe down below for a video every single week. Thank you guys, I love you, have a good one.